Okay, hey, what's up, guys? My name is Ramir. I want to have a conversation with you guys. Okay, this is getting quick. I don't want my minutes to run out. Supposedly minutes, right? Okay, does anybody know anybody that has like a guilty conscience? Like they did something, they feel guilty about it, but they don't want to admit that they're guilty. Right? Like, okay, you do something bad to somebody, and then you lie about it, and then the truth starts coming to light, and you feel guilty, and you don't want to be reproached for it. You did it. You. Okay, we don't want to be reproached for things, especially if we're wrong, when we want to be liked. Right? And so they have people that they do things that are wrong to people. And so they have a guilty conscience. And so religiously, I would say, or just socially, that we happen to be or been through these things so many times because, man, they can't exist. And what happens is, not that we own up to our mistakes, but we have certain types of individuals that we face. We always try to work hard to make someone progressively an optimist, that they know that they're making the right decision or a positive one when things are all messed up instead of just giving into them. So somebody who's just freely and unconsciously wouldn't realize that they're negative would always think that it's impossible to fix something that's broken. So they always have that half filled, half empty. Whoever thinks that your glass is half empty, more than likely they're negative thinkers, they're pessimists. And the opposite, whoever thinks it's half full is an optimist. Well, people who have a guilty conscience, if they're not conscious of it, they're like this little demon they have. They haven't really worked on themselves, so they haven't really took control of their life, so their demons start coming out. And so every time someone is happy or someone is doing good, something that's going to work out, it's going to occur, they become this little demon. And so what happens, they say, that is impossible. Then they go, this person, no way. Or they'll, inquire something negative about a person's attributes into what they're doing, like, so it could never happen. And so there are people like this, and when it doesn't work, when they don't get their way, that they still see you trying to accomplish, the demon grows on it. And it gets really more aggressive, and they're like, no, pull him down. You can't do it. We just saw it, we just said. But they have no authority. They have no back history. They're not supposed to even have the experience. Once they saw that somebody else's experience, and they already had their opinion, they're supposed to remove themselves and go somewhere else. But they can't do it because this whatever they didn't work on in their life doesn't allow them to communicate what's happening, and the demon of them takes over. Because we all have a side of us that's negative. If we have good, then we have more negative. And so what happens is, if we don't work on it spiritually and we don't pray and all these things, we're going to start experiencing it in the wrong way. Well, some people, they have guilty consciences, and usually maybe through some type of curse, or maybe something with hatred of people, may have taught people, maybe with a demon, that have taught people to refuse things, to miss out on things, so they wouldn't work on things, and these things exist. But people have guilty consciences, and so when people start realizing that they were wrong, what they do is they create this way, this inhibition, to make it seem like they're helping you. So, like, for instance, if someone's kicking me, right, but they're actually touching me in a way like, are you okay? But they're actually poking me with a knife or something, that's just an expression and an analogy of what an inhibition of a person was. So if we had a bad experience before, and you were wrong, and now everybody's starting to reproach you, point their fingers at you, or that person, no, I didn't mean to point my fingers at you. What happens is they try to go back into those experiences with their guilty consciousness. And what they do, they make it seem as if during those experiences, they reconfigure how they behave to those type of experiences to make it seem like that's how they act during those experiences. So it's an inhibition. So it's just a little demon just coming out, but then it's realized and it's scared, so it runs away, and then here it goes, the inhibition. It's like, so well, each time they have the same experience with something similar to you, they either smile or they're very forgiving and sorry. And so these things are what they use as a means, so when they're confronted, it wouldn't seem like they did anything wrong and you'd be the bad person. That demon still comes out. It's like, when God says, well, you got to be forgetful of the other person that offended you in order to clean yourself so you can be clean. So if somebody kicks me and it really hurts, right? And then I'm really upset, but I can't make myself look bad and do something to them or say something negative, and they say sorry and I can't, then I'm not going to be pure. I'm going to stifle my entire system because it's not going to be clean inside, right? So then you have some of these, they get their little demons start coming out there, and then they play with the inhibition later, and so they keep saying sorry, and they know you're not going to forgive them, and then you keep becoming stressed because you don't forgive, and you always have this resentment, and you have this anxiety starts building, and so it's more of that. And then when people start confronting, the inhibition comes out. No, I'm very nice. He's okay. You've seen him. No history of real sorries or friendship, anything. So you got to understand the guilty conscience. Now, working around the guilty conscience, I think an individual has to know things about life and themselves and role playing, and what roles are theirs and what roles are others, and what things exist in life. To not, maybe it's a third party instigating. We don't know what it is, but if we know what we're going through, that's the first way to fix it. And so there's a sporadic amount of these things happen, especially in urban communities where there's a lot of activity and we don't ever get the chance to fix them. We don't ever get a chance to get what we want because there's so many things we can want because we can like so many things. And they become desires that weren't met. They feel like failures, and then they become these little demons. And there it goes. Then we have people around us maybe not knowing what to do and how to support these issues, and they grow. So I just want you to get a load. Inhibition. You can always check that out, religion, and the guilty conscience. All right, Ramiro.